this phenomenal self-image that Thomas Metzinger talks about, which I keep thinking about these days, which is this sense that this persistent sense of self that is generated by a persistent set of biochemical signals from the body to the brain. One of the things that I'm kind of interested in with that is that that signal, whatever that activation pattern is, whatever those biochemical events are, or proprioceptive events, or whatever they are, that combination of signals is probably invisible to us. My understanding of perception, at least, is that it relies on difference. What I think it was, what's he called that? The cybernetic Norbert Wiener. What I think he refers to as the difference that makes a difference, and what Gregory Bateson, I think, calls news of difference. So, just to step aside from what I'm talking about for a second, when we see something, when I see this branch of this tree that's in front of me here, what I kind of know is happening, because I've been told, is that my eyes are saccading across whatever there's a few seconds of arcs that represent that location in space, and in that saccading, different images are being, different light impacts are being made on my retina according to whether that particular retinal cell is picking up light reflected off the branch or not. So I'm constantly getting this difference, and my understanding was that if there's any way of kind of stilling the eyes so that no difference was being supplied, I wouldn't see anything at all. But the eyes have to keep moving in order to keep seeing. And as far as I know, that's the same for all of the sensory modes. But what we're looking at is a series of differences. That's what we see. That's what we hear and smell and so on. So in relation to this constant signal that the body is sending, this kind of carrier frequency which produces this, the anchor for this persistent sense of self, there is no difference in that, by definition. So it would be unavailable to perception. So no matter how much I introspect, and no matter how much I try to locate that sense of self in my body, I shouldn't be able to find it, and indeed I can't. What I should be able to find, or no, I can't really say I can find anything. In a sense, it's what I experience is the correlate of that, the sense of a persistent identity, a persistent self, which I do have, but I can't detach myself from that. I'm infinitely close to that, as Metzinger says. So it feels like the thing that's doing the looking, or the thing that's doing the listening, rather than the thing that's looked at, or the thing that's listened to. So I can't get those signals. What I can get are slight variations from that. If I stand still, I'll stand still in a second when I got down the slope. If I stand quite still, I can quite easily feel the small swayings and the small corrections that I'm making to my balance in order to stay upright, even though they're really tiny. And in fact, the more I focus on them, the more concrete they become, the more felt they become. If I stand still, if I pay attention, I can hear my own heartbeat inside my body. And the more attention I pay to it, the more detail I can hear within that, in terms of tempo, or in terms of kind of envelope of sound that it's generating. It doesn't really sound, but that kind of felt sound. And there's a number of other things, of course, that I can very easily detect breathing, sounds of my breathing. I can detect tensions. I can detect kind of textures of tone across muscle groups, that kind of thing. But those aren't part of the persistent set of signals which are forming myself, my identity. These are all variations. They're all slight differences. I can feel my equilibrium being re-established because it's constantly shifting. I think if I was fixed in this position, like if I was lying down or something, it would disappear. I wouldn't feel that at all. I wouldn't feel my location in space quite like that. Well, I hope I would still hear my heartbeat. So I think if the heart stopped, I would have other things to think about and whether I could detect the difference. So that's all news of difference, I guess, all that stuff. One of the things I'm quite interested in, sort of by the by really, but one of the things I'm quite interested in that is that there's quite a lot of things going on there. I mean, I've just named 3 or 4 there, but to do with proprioception, to do with texture or tone of muscle groups, to do with heartbeat, to do with what feel like sounds of breathing or of pulse, and they're all detached. I kind of hear them or experience them or feel them individually. That's not how I experience things outside of my body. I can hear a bird singing somewhere in the trees above me right now. Let's see if I can find it actually. I can't see it, but if I do see it, I can hear it and I can see it, and those sensory experiences are bound together into a single entity, a bird in that case. In fact, the environment as a whole does that. I'm in these kind of woods here, and I can hear sounds, I can feel the earth under my feet, I can see a whole range of things. Smells in the air I can detect, and this kind of taste with my own body. But that's all unified. It all feels like one thing going on here. And if I look at a bird and hear it sing, there's one thing going on. The sound the bird is making and the visual appearance of the bird is one thing. And in fact, as I kind of look around the bird, the movements that I'm making which go around it also kind of belong to the bird as well. They become part of its shape and its affordance, I guess. I can't quite get that with the internal milieu of my own body yet. Perhaps I'll work on that, see if I can find a way to do it. It's not linked up yet. I guess that seems like to be quite an interesting goal, to link up the sense of a heartbeat with a proprioceptive sense. To see if I can kind of experience those things as different aspects of the same thing, as unified, in a kind of internal sense of communist going on there. Maybe that's what Gendon's talking about when he describes the felt sense. He doesn't use anything like this language, but he does describe it in a singular way, so you get this generalized sense of whatever it is. He doesn't describe it as being fragmented and fractured, he describes it as being singular. So maybe it's that kind of thing I'm aspiring to. Come on, Paul.